We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fantasy. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello Aromas, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Changeling. We are here discussing to everyone what we found out at the murder. And if you guys hear Arya barking, I'm very sorry. I think she's barking at the other dogs that she sees outside. What exactly were these developments? Awkwardness descended as I tried to figure out how to answer that. I was mentally kicking myself for not being more aware or being more careful when talking about that. Beside me, William shifted uncomfortably, then stood. He gave me a hesitant smile. I need to go to the library to meet Shelley. I'll let the two of you talk. I wanted to beg him to take me with him so I could avoid this conversation, but I just returned the smile and waved slightly. No problem, I'll see you later. He quickly stepped out, leaving me to Spencer's demanding frown and Adrian, who didn't seem interested in leaving at all. He deliberately ignored the pointed look I gave him as he took the other wing back. Jerk. It was a pity he couldn't read my mind. I guess he felt one day of studying with us entitled him to know about this too. I debated telling him to leave, but I just didn't want to deal with an argument. What reason did I even have to hide it anymore? Look, Allie and I were trying out some of the Changeling tests, just to be sure. Should try to roll it out so you'd feel better about it. And Kaya, that waitress from the murder, saw us. The murder, that cafe in town. It's not just a cafe. That's their cover, yeah, but actually, they're a well-known information source in the paranormal community. Information brokers. Oh god, I gotta yawn. A think tank. A lot of people go to them for advice, for answers, for information on any number of topics. I can't believe you really went to them for help. Well, it wasn't intentional. Like I said, she saw that we were doing what we were doing, and because she has some experience with changelings, she kind of picked up what was going on. So she chatted with me for a while. So you are a changeling. I hated the I won't say accuracy, accusatory way he said that. It's not what you think of at all. The books don't have even half the information on what a changeling really is, or how it all works. They stole my body and soul swapped me into a changeling's body. And I gotta keep yawning because I'm tired, jeez. To act as camouflage, so she wouldn't be discovered. This whole time I've been sharing this body with one of the fairies responsible for kidnapping me. I stood abruptly, pacing around the sofa to release some of the pent-up frustration. Did it what? Well, this is the story I got from someone who's been in the exact same position as me before. And so I spent the next 10 minutes recapping everything Kaya had said to me the day before. Everything about why changelings existed, how it worked, and that we didn't know how to fix it just yet. It sounded just as strange the third time around as it had yesterday. But somehow, even if I would have preferred not to tell him yet, I felt a little more of that burden. Sorry, was lifted. The act of explaining it all helped the reality sink in, and that helped me focus in on the solution we needed to find. Spencer listened calmly. He didn't ask a single question until I was finished. I don't understand why you didn't tell me this yesterday when I drove you home. I already said I was still trying to grasp it all myself. I didn't even know if you'd believe me. Why wouldn't I believe you? At this point, I don't have a reason to not believe any of the stupid things that happened lately. Well, yeah, since you've always been such a paragon of reason and a paragon of reason and rational thought, I had no idea why I thought you might not believe me. Not to mention that you also didn't mention being chased by some weird thing in town. Ugh, don't you start in on that too. I didn't ask her to follow me. The drifters are always bad this time of year. They're always a nuisance to anyone who can see them, assuming she is one, of course. Yeah, well, I hope I don't see that one ever. Or that one again. Ever. What are you going to do now? About the changeling thing, I mean. I don't know. Kaya implied if we could remember how the contract was initiated, there might be some specific action we could take to undo it. But I don't remember anything. Not when, not where, not how. So we'll have to use a more general method to dissolve it. Like the test we tried yesterday, but something that actually works. The problem is we don't know how to do that either. Maybe you should try asking Brenna. She might know something. I gave him a scathing look. Why was he even part of this conversation? Thanks, Sherlock. We totally didn't think of that on our own. Hey, I'm just trying to help. I was planning to ask her later today. but I don't know if she'll help. They don't relinquish their secrets easily, and Kaya said this was a pretty closely guarded one. Even so, Brenna helped me once already. Maybe she has some reason for that. Maybe she'll do it again. When we got here earlier, you said that you might not be. Apparently, if a human stays in fairy too long, it'll start affecting their body, their life force, and all that. Even if we fix this, I won't go back to how I used to be. I'll be somewhere between human and fae, but not fully either one. It's better than being held hostage in a body that isn't even mine. The warning bell rang, interrupting our conversation. Spencer and Adrian stood, but I stayed where I was. You're not going to class. I have to get this issue solved. Kay indicated that I may be working on a time limit here. I'm going to talk to Vilos. He may have some suggestions. If not, I'm going to spend the day hunting down Brenna, most likely. Good luck. Try not to get your eyes clawed out. Thanks, I guess. Spencer actually looks like he cares for me. Like he's actually worried. They left me in a club room, but Spencer shot me one more worried look as he vanished into the hall. Feeling as uncertain as he looked, I grabbed my things and headed to the library to find Vilos. Hi, Vilos. Handsome guy. I assumed Vilos had probably seen her, weirder than my situation. He took the news with surprising calm, barely even batted an eye. For the time being, I agree that your best option is to ask Brenna for help. Unfortunately, the agency has little experience with changing contracts. Oh my god. But in case she's unwilling to help, I'll endeavor to come up with a contingency plan, and you should try to remember what you can about initiating the contract. I've been doing that. He scrutinized my face carefully. The sleepwalking issue. You haven't had any of those. Haven't had any of these blackouts while awake. No, it seems like she can only come out while I'm sleeping. There are moments when what? I don't know. When suddenly everything seems foreign, ugly, strange, like I'm looking through someone else's eyes instead of my own. Or when it feels like I'm being watched. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. I think we should be cautious about assumptions. We should get you something to wear during the day. Something that can potentially keep the changeling at bay. I'll look into it. What do you mean? Like a necklace? Reflector or something? Okay, thanks. In the meantime, I'll write an excuse to get you out of class. Show it if anyone questions you while you're searching for Brenna. Thanks. It's no trouble, of course. I don't suppose you know where I can find her. It's unlikely she's in class. I recommend you check the courtyard and perhaps the cafeteria. There's also a particular classroom on the 4th floor she seems to like. 437. Does that mean something? Or is this just a random number? I was trying to see if those numbers correlated with the alphabet, but it wouldn't make sense, so never mind. Got it. He handed over the note for what the hell? Veritable? Get out of jail free card for the rest of the day, and I slipped it in my pocket. He paused. Will Mr. Louis be needing a note as well? No? Do you see him? I started at the mention of Marc. No? I see. I had noticed the two of you spending a lot of time together. Can y'all stop mentioning that? I mean, well, he won't be needing a note. No. I see. Keep me apprised, I guess. I will. I stepped back through the door to the club room and dropped my things on the sofa. Since I wasn't going to class, I could come back for them later. Now, to find Brenna. Oh shit. Actual choices. Pretty sure these actually matter, maybe. Going to the courtyard. It's morning. She might be lounging in the sun, maybe. The most logical place to look first was the courtyard. At any rate, I was already right next to the door, so I might as well look there. I could come back during lunch too, since I knew other students ate there. Marc's face flashed through my mind. I grimaced, almost changing my mind. I did not want to be thinking of him right now, but there was no way to avoid him, and I couldn't keep moping about it. I knocked very carefully, making sure I got the right one as I glared at the sign on the door. Wow, one go? Wow, I'm so good. As I stepped through, or unless this is like an actual, like she's in any of those choices. Brenna was the first thing I saw, exiting through a door directly across from me. Wait! She looked directly over her shoulder at me, but didn't pause as she vanished behind the other door. I rushed across the courtyard, dodging the tables like a mad woman to follow her, but when I tried to yank open the door, it wouldn't budge. I see you haven't fixed your habit of running through doors with no thought of what may happen if you do. Is that Marc? I froze at the sound of that voice. Are you following me? I'm kidding, you're probably not. What's he doing here? Oh, what if he asked Brenna himself? And how I had not noticed him sitting right by the library door. He had a cup from the murder and a book open on the table in front of him. He wasn't even looking at me. Shouldn't he be in class right now? Shouldn't you? I have something more important to do. What's your excuse? He said nothing, just turned another page in his book. If he was going to give me the cold shoulder, I had no idea why he'd spoken to me at all. I tried the locked door again, but I couldn't help but wonder what Marc was doing here at all. Unless he was trying to avoid me. Marc, the guy who... Don't do this to me. I'm already sad enough. The guy who cares so much about his grades. He'd asked me to tutor him back when he still thought I was a lowly human with skipping class to avoid me. I guess I wasn't the only one still moping about our fight. I released the door handle with a frustrated groan. Do you know where this door leads? No. Whether that was true or not, I had no idea. I didn't know why I'd bother to ask. I have no reason to lie to you. Fuck, I'm so loud for my mind. I told you to stay out of my head. I've told you to stop shouting your thoughts. I let out a short, dry laugh. The same argument over and over again. Someone was supposed to show me how, but I guess he didn't have time. Perhaps he was simply tired of holding your hand all the time. Guys, I'm gonna cry. Can you guys stop? Stop this argument right now. I love you both too much for this. That stung, but I wasn't going to let him know that. I mean, he might already know. Can't he also sense my feelings? If he didn't want to hold my hand, he should never have done it in the first place. Oh god, I'm gonna cry. And I wasn't talking metaphors, because try not to cry. Because Marc was the one who reached out to me. Whether it was because I was prayer or because he liked me, he reached out first. I clenched my jaw as he slowly looked up at me. Nope, I'm looking away. For a silent moment, we faced off. This time he averted his eyes first. Whatever, I have other things to do. Thank God, get me out of there. I feel like if I continue reading, I was gonna cry. Because, again, as a reader, I like to put myself in their situation so I can actually fully immerse into my emotions, and that was just too much. I have anxiety, crawling in my palms, and goosebumps. I left him there, slamming the door behind me. I stood there for a moment, both palms pressed to the warm wood, trying to steady my nerves. That had not been an encounter I was prepared for. I stared at the ceiling as if it would have some kind of answers for me. It was stupid, but even as I left the courtyard, I'd been hoping he'd call out to me or stop me from leaving. Stupid. I released a long, slow breath. Okay, focus. Brenna had been there, but she left through that door. Where did it go? Somewhere in the school. Should I even bother looking anywhere else, or just wait for her here? Then again, Marc would probably be heading to class after literature, and he'd have to come through here to get there. I didn't want to see him again. We couldn't avoid each other forever, but I didn't want to see him again today. I guess I'll at least check out the classroom just in case, then cafeteria. That was gonna be my actual line anyway. For all I knew, the door she'd gone in also led to somewhere here at the school. If it did, she could be anywhere. I might as well stick to my plan. At worst, I'd wasted a little time. I left the club and headed down to the darker end of the main hallway. Most of the classes used for other clubs were near to the stairwell. This part was unused except for storage, and well as a hangout for whatever lurked up here. I shivered. Though it was on the top floor, it was always the coldest. Even the room where Marc and I had been trapped hadn't even been this far back. Ugh. I pushed all thoughts of him firmly out of my head, or tried to. It was difficult when there was nothing but the sound of my booty heels clicking against the tile. The moment his face flashed into my mind, yet every memory of every moment vied for attention. I paused, pressing the back of my hand to my mouth as I tried to rid myself of all those thoughts. You have terrible taste in guys. I am not down for where the fuck just passed by me. As I stood there, a whisper slid past me, and a whisper? Past me and wrestled down into the darkness. A chill ran through my body. I glanced back, but nothing was there. Oh man, I hate this place. I picked up the pace, hurrying down to the third corridor. Viola had said she liked room 437 for whatever reason. I stopped at the opening to the hall and looked down. It was so dark. Anxiety settled in the pit of my stomach as I stared down to the open door at the end. It felt off. It wasn't just normal shadow lurking down there. Staring into it was like being pulled into darkness. Prickles stood up on the back of my neck. It was stupid. Or given where I was, maybe not, but I felt like if I walked down there, I wouldn't walk back out. How does Brenna deal with this? I took a step back and a door down the hall slammed. Oh, Corvin! Oh I haven't seen your face in like forever. Ugh, I'm still fucking scared though. But this is where I'm gonna stop after I read the sentence. I jumped half out of my skin and whirled around in time to see Corbin barreling toward me. Oh, he's gonna fall in front of me? Bro, I'll catch you if you fall. But anyway, this is where I'm gonna stop for today. Hopefully, Corbin will volunteer to come open this door for me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Touch it,